iOS 9.3.7 features a new iPhone and iPad update. You can download the iOS 9.3 update to experience the following new features on your iPhone and iPad. iOS 9.3 is the biggest incremental iPhone and iPad update in several years, as Apple has new software features that go as far as changing your sleeping habits. It has the long-sought-after iPhone night shift feature, along with plenty of other useful features are here like multi-user support for students, Apple Notes locked behind a password, or Touch ID, and tweaked news, health and Apple CarPlay apps. Check them out. 1. Night shift in iOS 9.3 uses the clock and geolocation to determine the sunset, and the screen becomes progressively more orange-tinted throughout the night, exactly like F.Lux on Macs and Reader's Edition on Amazon Kindle HD8. The completely optional night shift mode is found in settings greater than display and brightness greater than blue light reduction, with the slider bar to control how orange or blue it looks, and to adjust the schedule. It is also available in quick settings. 2. Buried in the iOS 9.3 release notes is the first sign of multi-user support, only it's strictly for classroom iPads right now. Apple calls this new app suite iOS and Education, and the highlight is the fact that it enables students to log into any iPad in any classroom and pick up where they left off. iOS and Education also includes 3 other apps meant for teachers and school officials, a new classroom app for teach-guided lessons that ensures the students follow along, and Apple School Manager and managed Apple IDs for consolidated admin portals. 3. Before the new iOS 9.3 arrived, keeping confidential information in Apple Notes could be a little risky. Anyone could nab your unlocked iPhone and scan the secrets you jotted down. iOS 9.3 allows your vulnerable folks to protect certain notes under lock and fingerprint for extra security. It also lets you sort everything by date created, date modified and alphabetically now. 4. Apple News is a little more personal and a little easier to navigate in iOS 9.3, though it doesn't address its biggest design problems. That may have to wait until iOS 10. Instead, the preloaded Flipboard clone now has a more personalized For You section based on your interests, and new suggestions with trending topics and editors' picks. It's more streamlined now because stories with a video can be played straight from the feed, and the iPhone now supports a landscape view for everyone. The entire app loads faster, too. 5. Apple Health is becoming a little less lifeless with the iOS 9.3 update thanks to new, worthwhile third-party app suggestions and Apple Watch integration. Tracking down which third-party apps deliver the metrics you want is going to be easier because Health makes suggestions in its existing categories, like weight, workouts or sleep. The next time you go to Health to track your weight, you're going to see apps for tracking weight at the bottom with at least 5 alternate apps you may want to try instead. Sadly, there's still no Fitbit integration on the horizon. 6. Apple CarPlay is slowly driving alongside the shoulder of the highway, trying to pick up speed by rolling out in 2016 and forthcoming 2017 cars and trucks. The iOS 9.3 CarPlay update is going to give it a minor boost starting with Apple Music Weeks. New, expert-picked, and for you, preference-based, songs are now part of the music menu. The nearby feature found in Apple Maps on the iPhone and Apple Watch is also coming to CarPlay cars, helping you find points of interest when you need them the most. 7. The software update has a few more goodies buried within its app-filled menace. We've discovered new 3D touch shortcuts for preloaded apps. Weather, App Store, Stocks, Health, Compass and Settings are all a tiny bit easier to navigate in iOS 9.3. Need to tell Siri something in Hebrew, Finnish or Malay? Apple's personal assistant now understands those languages, bringing the total up to 37 languages. In the US, Verizon customers can take advantage of Wi-Fi calling, as Beta 3 finally adds this long-promised feature. Finally, Although iOS 9 release notes don't address the newly discovered 1970 glitch that bricks your iPhone and iPad if the date is set to January 1, 1970, expect there to be a vague reference to that in the final version of the text.